Tonight we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at Melbourne Park, where the Saints have gone clear at the top of the table with a 2-0 win over Chelmsford City. Going into the match, Ian, both sides had maximum points. It was expected to be really tough, but we did a very thorough job tonight.
Yeah, I think it was no different to what we expected. It was a very, very tough game. I think we know, the ball's going to be coming in the box. They're a big side. They've got a lot of players that are 6 foot plus. You've got the long throw. You've got quality on free kicks and corners, and it was always going to be very, very difficult. And we've had to go and fight and show a load of character and composure, and still try and play some football at the same time. And it was a tough game. But the boys, as I said last week against Willstone, they were magnificent tonight. Every single one of them. I've just said that to them from 1 to 16. They've listened to the jobs they were given. They've all done their jobs correctly, and in the end, we've got a great result. And if you look at it, Dean's probably had a couple of crosses to deal with. He's not had a lot to save in the game.
That first goal was always going to be crucial, and we got it. Tom Gardner.
Yeah, it's it's one of them that we've been working on, and it's nice to score from a set piece because we don't score many goals. So that was nice from that side of it. And Tom's come in, and he's been frustrated because he's been sitting on the bench for the first 3 games, but he came in tonight and did a great job for us. He was excellent in the air, cleared his lines, won big headers, and he put his life on the line between a couple of those headers where he's had to go and dig in deep, and won some big headers there and stopped them from scoring. But I'm pleased for him because obviously the first start of this season, but he had a second half of last season wasn't his greatest, but we've seen a big turnaround in his performances since he's been back this year, and it's a great addition to our squad going forward.
1 goal's never enough, and the second goal, you could say it's a gift, but it's a great piece of opportunism. A tackle on the defender, the left back, and then Reece went through and a lovely finish.
Well, it was one of those, we wanted to let them have the ball. If they're going to pass it from the back, we felt, sit off a little bit, let them have it, and then we can go and press them like we did, and we let them have it. And there's 3 or 4 gone and pressed the ball at the same time, and luckily, it's obviously fallen for us. Reece has won the ball and he's gone through and slotted it a great finish, as you say. And again, he's been sitting on the bench, but fresh legs today seem to help us, and he's got his 2nd goal in 2 games, and if you count the Charity Cup game against Hitchin, that's his 3rd goal this season. So excellent. We said about the wide men, and I said it at the beginning of the season, all 3 wide men have got to be looking to score between 10 and 15 goals each this season, and we've left Sean out tonight, and really difficult because Sean's been excellent for us, but we just went with a different style of shape just to try and combat their strengths, and Reece and Zane did great jobs down the wide areas and nullified a lot of their attacking options.
Well, let's chuck in a couple of cliches. Never change a winning side. You made 4 changes tonight, but as you said there, it's horses for courses.
Well, I said that on Saturday, we're not about a main 11. I think the 16 players I've got here, and I said it on Saturday, any single one of them could be in this side on a regular basis and it wouldn't make any difference to us. Scotty Thomas has been really, really unfortunate because he's been a stalwart for the 18 months I've been here. I think I've picked him every single time, but at the moment he can't get in the side. We brought young Percy in tonight to replace David Noble, who was a little bit tired after Saturday, and he's given us the legs and energy in there, and he's gone and competed and was excellent today. And then, as I say, we put fresh legs in at the back with Tom Gardner, and we put a little bit more height by putting Tom Bender at centre half. So excellent from that side. Reece Williams has come in, and his pace at times down the wide has caused them problems. So yeah, the players we brought in, it's been great. But as I said to you there, the 5 subs. Sam Merson's, he's failed a fitness test late this afternoon, which was disappointing because we felt yesterday he was going to be fit, but unfortunately we've lost Sam, so that's made us a little bit weak in the forward area. But we've got other players that hopefully we can bring in by the end of the week in time for the Paul game on Saturday.
You mentioned most of the team there, but not Solomon Sambu, Ian. What a signing he's been.
He's been outstanding, as I say, but and I say it and I'll say it again. I think you've got to look at where he began his career, and I think 3 years ago he was playing for Fulham against Chelsea in the FA Youth Cup final. So scored a goal in that game. So he's a good player, and we've been fortunate we've picked him up. I think he lost his way a little bit for a year or 2 when Fulham released him. But now he's got the ambition to go back in and want to be back in the pro game, and hopefully we can push him that way. Hopefully not too soon, but he's just a very competitive young midfield player who wins the ball, plays it really simple. And I tell you what, when he goes and breaks, there ain't many people who can live with his pace. And in the first half we see him break there. I just like to see him shoot a bit more, like he did at Oxford with a fantastic goal there.
Another player you haven't mentioned, Funny enough, he's had fairly quiet time in our 4 league games, and he's had the pleasure of having his first clean sheet today. His handling is brilliant. We've talked about it off mic. Dean Snedker.
Yeah, Dean's come in, and as I say, but again, we go back to a couple of years ago. He was playing for Kidderminster in the conference, so again, he's just fallen down a league or so. Just maybe lost his way a little bit by coming to us. We've spoke to him at length. When we sat down with him about coming to us, he then made a decision, wanted to come to us, and it was tough losing Rusty because he's been a good goalkeeper for us last year, and the good side of that is that Dean's come in, has been excellent. Rusty's still around the club. Whenever he's free from the Chelsea time, he can come in and do a good job for us, and he's helped Dean again tonight. So it's great for everybody from that point of view. Is that both keepers are keeping each other on their toes, but Dean's come in and done a great job for us.
Over to you, Neil. We can hardly see you in, but we'll carry on.
I was just going to say, there's so many good things to come out of tonight's game. But is the performance of the defence and that clean sheet, is that one of the good ones?
I think it's really important because I felt on Saturday we defended really well, and unfortunately, as I said, for me it wasn't a penalty. It was a poor decision I felt from the referee, and that undone the clean sheet. And then you go back to the Wealdstone game. I learnt a lot in that 35-40 minutes in the second half where we had to go and dig very, very deep with 10 men and 2 banks of 4, and we defended very, very well. And we had, even Wealdstone then didn't really open us up too much, and Dean had a couple of shots directly to him. So you learn a lot about how you had to go and defend, and we're starting to do it real well now at the moment. I think everybody's focused on what they want to do. But as we said, it's 4 games of a 42-game season, and I remember where it was this time last year. I think we probably got a few more points this year than we did last year. But at Christmas going in on the 12th of December, we were second in the league, and it all fell apart. And hopefully, we've got a long, long way to go. We've got to take each game as it comes. The squad, as I keep telling you, isn't the strongest at the moment in terms of the bodies. We need a few more bodies to come in now for the next couple of weeks, and then take us into the FA Cup. And once you get into that spell, then you have a little bit of disruption in terms of league games, FA Cup, league games, FA Cup, and we want to try and stay in the FA Cup as long as we can, as we did last year, because one thing, if you get knocked out of that quite early, you have gaps where you don't play for 2 weeks, and that's when you get a little bit bored in terms of the performances, and players lose a little bit of continuity and consistency, and we need to have that week in, week out.
Oh, I think that's it. Thanks so much, Ian. You're there somewhere. We can't really see you. 2-0 win for the Saints tonight at Chelmsford. We've gone clear at the top of the table, and on Saturday we travel down to Poole Town, where we try and make it 5 out of 5. National League South. Kick-off there is at 3 p.m.